Sure is. My name is Brian. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We got a lot to cover today. Huge breakthrough in this Fani Willis case, which I'm going to get to in just a moment or two. But I was listening to the top of the hour news, and I've been hearing this since yesterday, and I got to throw something out to you about this. They say that Haiti is falling into anarchy. Since when has Haiti not been in anarchy? As far as I know, as far as back as I can remember, Haiti has been in anarchy for like decades and decades. What do they mean falling into a anarchy? And I'll tell you what's in play here. The Washington donor insider political class, you know how they're ripping off all this money with Ukraine funding? They like to do the same thing with Haiti every few years. And if you remember Peter Schweitzer, who's got this incredible new book out, which is awesome. I highly recommend it. I have the book. I've started reading. I've just been so busy. I haven't had time to fully read it, but I will. It's his best book yet. But Peter Schweitzer pointed out, and was it Clinton Cash? It might have been Clinton Cash, that when Haiti a few years ago had that earthquake, Bill and Hillary Clinton plundered endless amounts of money from Haiti through earthquake relief. Just off the top of my head, just two things in particular. Bill worked out some scam for cell phone coverage in Haiti, and the Clintons got a boatload of that. And, you know, Haiti has gold mines. Did you know this? Haiti has gold mines. And after the earthquake in Haiti, the Clinton Foundation, which is the Clinton Foundation is to the Clintons what the car wash was in Breaking Bad, right? That's how they do all their business, you know. Joe Biden, he has Hunter. The Clintons had the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation is where they did all this through. Haiti has gold mines. After the earthquake, the very first out-of-country mining contract on a Haitian gold mine was awarded. You know who won the contract? Hugh Rodham, who's Hillary Clinton's brother. He ran for the Senate here in the 90s, Hugh Rodham, and we called him Huge Rodham. And if you look him up, you'll see why. So Haiti gave their first out-of-country contract to mine gold in Haiti for the first time. I think it was in 50 years, and it just happened to be Hillary Clinton's brother. So all this stuff you're hearing about in Haiti, it's a tragic place, Haiti. You know, the Caribbean's beautiful, and Haiti should be, but it's not. But these Washington insiders that have brought you the proxy war in Ukraine and the WMD lie in Iraq and all of that, they're going around Washington high-fiving each other. They're ready to loot and plunder Haiti. All right, just to give you a heads up on that. All right, so let's get to Fani Willis. Oh my goodness, you know, this Fani Willis case it's so strange. It's very strange, and I'm not a lawyer, so I can't give a legal breakdown. But I don't even think lawyers can. I've seen lawyers on television explaining what's going on. I think what's going on in this case in Fulton County, Georgia, is so unusual that the lawyers don't even get it. They're just on TV acting as if they do, with a bunch of legal gobbledygook that I don't understand and no one understands. But this case was brought by one of political dissident President Donald Trump's co-defendants of the bias and all of this stuff with Fani and her sugar boy, gigolo boyfriend. And we've had these hearings. And yesterday, the lady attorney that's been questioning Fani and her boy toy, she was testifying. So it's such a strange thing when you have a court case going on and you have a lawyer testifying, and now we have lawyers from both sides testifying, and Fani Willis has been busted. not just committing perjury, both her and her boy toy committed perjury, but now there is documented evidence that Fani Willis visited the Biden White House and met with Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, before the indictment of President Trump. So we have the boy toy was at the White House before, meeting with Biden's lawyer, the White House counsel. Now we have Fulton County Sugar Mama and DA Fani Willis meeting at the White House with the vice president prior to the indictment of President Trump. So they perjured themselves, and now they've been busted colluding with the leader of, well, our country, sadly, Joe Biden, this senile old coot. And, of course, they're conspiring to arrest the leader of the political opposition, Donald John Trump. And Merchant, she's the lady lawyer. You've seen her on TV. She testified yesterday. Let me play this. This is huge stuff.
Here's one of the other things I did was I did a open records for the White House access, and we had records that Ms. Willis and the mayor of Atlanta were at meeting with the vice president.
Okay, and so this is the access history. How does that work? The White House keeps records of anybody that comes in and has...
So what they're doing is they're entering into the court record the White House visitor logs. So this isn't just an accusation. This is the White House visitor logs proving this collusion.
Sure.
Yes, and my understanding is it's highly regulated who can access the White House, and so you have to apply in person or apply ahead of time, and then they give you a time when you make the appointment, and they give you a time when you're allowed to be in and when you have to be out by, and they track you. And I mean, that makes sense. They don't want anybody, lingering in the White House, but they keep that. And so they're called WAVE records, I believe is what they're called, and I'm not sure what that's an acronym for, but they're publicly available. They're open records.
And this record that's shown on the screen shows Fani Willis was a visitor with V. POTUS. I presume that's Vice President of the United States?
Yes, it was.
And what was the date of that back in, was that February sometime of 23?
February 28, 2023.
Is that before the indictment?
Yes.
Okay. Any further explanation of why Ms. Willis was meeting with the Vice President of the United States?
No. I know Dexter Bonds, and I believe that's the same one that Mr. I think it's Dixon, the mayor of Atlanta, was also there.
Okay. We'll take a short break.
Oh, yeah, I bet they'll take a short break. I bet you they'll take a short break. And not only are they going to take a short break, Fani Willis and her boy toy are in big trouble. Now, we're going to take our first break. When we get back, there's much more. We've only just begun. I'm Brian, back after this. Sorry, guys, I had the camera facing backwards, but that's okay. Happens sometimes. That happened the other day, too. Oh, yeah, Fani is in some big trouble. Oh, yeah. Now, guys, I put a link to a friend of mine's Etsy shop. If you guys could check out that link, it's super cool, and we're it's really an Etsy shop for dog lovers. And our 17-year-old Nina, I want to get a portrait of her, and you can get a portrait of your pets. You can go here and look at it. Click on that link to that Etsy shop, and you'll see. And if you could just check it out, maybe you'll find something else. They have a lot of other things, too, other than pet portraits. But I want to get a good pet portrait of Nina. We've got a good one of our dog we had before, but not of Nina. So I want to get one of Nina. She's, I don't know, she's not doing well with the cancer and everything. So I pinned the link right there to the top of the chat, so check it out. I would greatly appreciate that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Fani is in trouble. Big, big trouble. You know, even if that judge who donated to her campaign doesn't remove her from the case, she is she's in trouble in the end. This is never going to hold up with all this corruption that's coming out of Fani Willis's office. Oh no, even if the judge sides with her, this will all be tossed out on appeals. Well, yeah, what had happened was I took Nina back because, you know, she's got this cancer growth on her lip, and we had the procedure to remove it scheduled for Friday, but we wanted to take her in and get her looked at first. And the doctor told us he recommends she not do it. He'd have to take off Nina's entire bottom lip on the left side of her face. He said it and her age, and he recommended, and that's unusual, right? Recommended we not do the surgery. So, yeah, so, you know, it's sad. Very sad. But if you guys could check out that Etsy shop, I would appreciate it. Yeah, we've got a beautiful portrait of our last dog, Daisy. We have it hanging up in our kitchen, and I look at it every morning.
Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we are back. Call us on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You know, the free shipping offer continues at MyPillow.com. I just checked before showtime. Site-wide, take advantage of this. And I want to tell you, I saw that the 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper is just $99.99. That's like the lowest price ever. And I've bought 2 of the 2-inch MyPillow mattress toppers. I have one on my guest bed at home and one on my daughter's sleeper sofa out in Los Angeles. And I'm here to tell you that 2-inch mattress topper is spectacular. My wife, a week or two ago, was under the weather, so I slept on the guest bed in the guest room for a couple of nights, and I did not know it, but I was sleeping on the 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper. I thought it was the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. I didn't know it till we took the sheets off and made the bed, and it is. I was blown away by that. People ask me all the time, what's the difference between the 2 and the 3-inch mattress topper? And I'll tell you, I did not know I was sleeping on the 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper. We got it from my daughter's sleeper sofa because she could fold up the couch with the mattress topper still on it, right? So it's $99.99 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, plus free shipping site-wide on all items, no matter how large, no matter how small, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. So Fani Willis, she is in some big, big trouble, guys, and let me tell you, that's even if the judge who donated to her political campaign sides with her in his decision. This is not going to hold up in the long term. And so just to recap what's going on, the Georgia State Senate Special Committee on Investigations Wednesday morning, that's yesterday morning, heard testimony from Trump RICO co-defendant Michael Roman's attorney, Ashley Merchant. And she's the attorney that's been questioning Fani and the boy toy. In a previous court filing, Michael Roman revealed Fulton County District Attorney and Fulton County Sugar Mama, Fani Willis, financially benefited from a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, the prosecutor. I don't know if it was romantic. I think it was just sex. Merchant testified on her conversation with Nathan Wade's former law partner and divorce attorney, Terrence Bradley. Merchant testified that Fani indeed visited the Biden White House and met with Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, prior to the Trump RICO indictment. It looks like she's the one doing the RICO. According to records that are publicly available, the White House visitor logs, Fani Willis visited the White House and met with Kamala Harris in February 2023, several months before the Trump RICO indictment. She's in trouble. And, this judge, the judge in this case, he looks older than he is. He's in his 30s. When you lose your hair, I guess you look older. But even though he and his wife both separately donated to Fani's campaign, he's in a tough spot right now because all this truth has come out. So, but even if he is corrupt, like Fani Willis, the sugar mama of Fulton County, who sidelines as a DA, this is not going to hold up in whatever further appeals court or the state committee. It's not going to hold up. And at some point, Fani Willis very well could end up with a mugshot of her own. And that'll be a beautiful day. This lawfare's got to end. And that testimony she gave, the arrogance, it's really amazing. That arrogance, that criminal mindset arrogance of Fani Willis when she was on the stand, it's kind of like Hunter and the arrogance of Hunter. When you see Hunter testifying, he's pretty arrogant too, isn't he? These are lifetime criminals who don't view themselves as criminals, but you know what? They are. Now, I want to tell you guys, this is important. And then after the bottom of the hour, I'm going to move on to some other topics, but you're welcome to call in about this. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. This election that we're in right now, without question, is the most important election of any of our lifetimes, our parents' and our grandparents' lifetimes. That's a fact. Okay, this election and I've thought about this a lot. I don't say this lightly. This is the most important election since the election of Abraham Lincoln. And what I mean by that is what we're going through right now is one of the major historical turning points in the United States. And throughout the history of this country, there have been many turning points. Right? There was a big build-up to the American Revolution, Boston Tea Party, all that stuff. And then independence was declared. That was major. That was major. The freeing of the slaves by Abraham Lincoln made a big changed everything. Women getting the vote in 1920, a major turning point in this country. The desegregation of our public schools, this election, the re-election of President Trump is equal, if not greater, than all of those things I just shared, except the country declaring independence, because that's the biggest deal of all. And the reason I say that is, you've heard me say, Donald Trump's a civil rights leader, and people think, yeah, whatever. But no, he is. And it's the greatest and largest civil rights movement in the history of this country. There have been great civil rights movements. We had the suffragettes who wanted women to be able to vote. Martin Luther King was great and did a great thing. But they were leading the civil rights of a very specific group, blacks or women, right, with the suffragettes. Donald Trump is leading every American to freedom when about half the country, Democrat voters, don't even know that they're enslaved. He's trying to lead them to freedom too. And it's freedom from the bondage of the permanent Washington class, freedom from the military-industrial complex donors, freedom from the deep state, freedom from the media manipulation and the uniparty, and there's a long list. And he is leading every American, regardless of your gender, your skin color, your religion, whatever your background is, your sexuality. He's leading every American to freedom. And it's really a scary thing because Democrat voters don't realize they are enslaved. And that's pretty frightening when you think about it. And I'm going to be talking about that a lot because this is so important. Yesterday, with Nikki Haley dropping out, Do not make the mistake of saying that the primary is over and Trump's got the nomination. The primaries are still ongoing. And when the primary comes to you, not only do you need to vote, we've got to swamp them and have a massive turnout in each one of these remaining primaries, including the one here in Florida. All right? You know, you got to remember, on these ballots, all these jerks, losers, and traitors are still on the ballots. DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy, and others are still on the ballot in all these states. And if you notice from these recent results, people still vote for DeSantis and Ramaswamy and Christie. We need to have a massive unification kind of number. We need to see results that have Trump coming in at 75, 80% or greater in these primaries. I'm serious. It's an important message. So do not get comfortable. I'm looking forward to going and voting for Trump again. I can't wait. I'll make a YouTube video of it. Last time I voted for Trump, I made a YouTube video and the poll worker came chasing me down in the parking lot. Any of you guys see that video? What a jerk he was. Who does he think he is? He was, you know, that was the Democrat poll watcher, I promise you. Only a Democrat would do that. And I'm going to do it again. And you know what? When I go and vote in the primary this month, I'm going to wear my MAGA hat. And don't let the poll workers tell you you can't wear your MAGA hat or you cannot wear your Trump shirt. That's not true. Political campaigns cannot campaign within a certain number of feet from a polling location. But if you're a voter, you can wear whatever you want to wear. Don't let them tell you you can't. And if they tell you, you call for the Republican poll watcher. You are not with a campaign. You can wear whatever you want. I'm wearing my MAGA hat. And you know what? I'm going to wear a Trump shirt too. If I had the Trump shoes, I'd wear them. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this.
Making morning radio.
All right, guys, I'll be right back. I've got a Trump t-shirt on underneath this sweater.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the Palm Beach Patio Furniture Weather Center, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created, here's the oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. We're going to see a daytime high today in the low 80s. Really, really humid. We're transitioning out of all that rain that we saw yesterday. So kind of humid in the 80s and a chance of some showers. I'm going to give you up to 5 first morning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Weather brought to you by Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Route 1 Seminole Plaza Shops, North Palm Beach. Palm Beach Patio Furniture. Voted in the best of the best patio store in Palm Beach County. PalmBeachPatioFurniture.com, where luxurious outdoor spaces are created.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Palm Beaches are still in center field this morning on the expressways. 95 minutes are like both crash free with looking up to full speed to Boca Raton and Jupiter. We're looking at also on the southern streets on incidents report at this time. All overhead construction has been cleared. This report is sponsored by NexGuard Plus. NexGuard Plus, Foxinator, Moxidectin, and Parental Chewable Tablets is the one you want for your dog's monthly protection. Use with caution with dogs with a history of seizures or neurological disorders. Ask your veterinarian about NexGuard Plus. Choose today. That's traffic on this bar.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. It's showtime in the Paddock Restaurant on PBKC. Check out the Paddock's fabulous 3-course dinner shows like So Good, the Neil Diamond Experience, March 8th, and Petty Nicks Tribute to Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks, April 26th. And don't miss comedians.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for these. You can wear your MAGA hats when you vote, at least in Florida. I'm wearing mine. Well, thanks, Cindy. Yeah, please share and subscribe, guys. If you're not sub, please sub. And like the video helps a lot, too. Appreciate that, Jack. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys. Oh, I got to turn the air down. It is, like, really freaking hot in here. I hope the air's not broken again. That was awful. Let's see. Oh, it's 78 degrees. Oh, my goodness. That's hot. All right, turn it down to 69. I don't think I can get myself to I don't think I can get myself to watch that State of the Union live. I'll probably get up in the morning and catch what happened. We're back after this.
Promo code Kane.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. So Charles Barkley, what a beaut this guy is. You know, he does this show with Oprah Winfrey's best friend, Gayle King, and he's gotten arrogant beyond belief. It's on CNN, isn't it? You know, I saw him on CNN once about 20 years ago, and he cleaned the clock of Michael Savage. I know that's hard to believe, but he did. I don't remember what the issue was. They used to do this show at CNN in Atlanta and in the CNN Center on the ground floor, which was a food court, and it was called Talk Back Live. And Michael Savage was a guest. He was talking about something to do with Republican politics, conservative policies or something. And Charles Barkley happened to be walking by. He was a guest on another show at CNN and heard it and started chiming in and cleaned Michael Savage's clock. Michael Savage is not good at debate. You know, I'm not saying that he's great and everything. I'm just Charles Barkley. Michael Savage is just weak. It was Well, anyway, Charles Barkley showed his true colors, that he's just a violent person who has broken one of the, if not the biggest rule of public speaking and broadcasting, and that is threatening and incitement of violence. And he was talking, I'll do a set, then I'll play the audio. And then he came back like the next day, CNN, to have him walk it back, and then he doubled down on it. So I'll play you both of them in a moment, but just to give you some context of what they were talking about, Gayle King and Barkley. Trump said a week or two ago that blacks are supporting him because of this oppression that he's going through with lawfare. And some blacks are just like that are liberal, like Barkley, are just ticked off about this beyond imagination. I think Trump's right, as always, because African Americans understand how the legal system can be used by corrupt public officials to persecute innocent people. The Democrats have a long history of this. That's how the lynching went on so long, right? Yeah. And everybody knows what he's talking about, except Barkley and Gayle King. So this is the first part. He threatens, Barkley here, threatens black people who wear MAGA gear. Isn't that nice? Oh, hold on, let me get it queued up here. I'm a little surprised at this, actually.
If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Wow. You know, and let me tell you, he is a massive man. if he punched a regular person in the face, he could kill him. He's that big. You know, I met Muhammad Ali once. Muhammad Ali, I got an autograph of his. I wish if it was a Cassius Clay autograph, I mean, that'd be worth like boatloads of money. But I got a Muhammad Ali autograph, which is nice to have because he's not signing anymore, right? But Muhammad Ali's hands, I've met NFL players and everything else. I've never seen hands as big as Muhammad Ali. And Charles Barkley's a big guy. Charles Barkley could kill someone with a punch, especially what he's talking about, right? He's talking about sucker punching. You sucker punch someone, you catch them off guard, oh boy.
If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Charles.
I know, Gail.
Charles.
Gail.
You really can't say that because you don't mean that.
Oh, I mean that sincerely.
But if you see somebody, a black person with a Donald Trump,
I'm gonna punch him right in the eye. Gail, I promise you.
I would bail you out.
You're not gonna be my first call.
Yeah, I like how he's trying to act like he's all down, all ghetto all of a sudden, like about first call and everything else. I mean, you know, all right, Barkley. So that was the initial comment. And of course, no one's watching that show, but that went viral online. And that is a big, big no-no in broadcasting. You cannot threaten nor incite violence. That's a big one. That's equal, if not worse, than, you know, saying the F word and things like that. That's a big one, big one. So CNN are aware of this. So the next day they have Barkley go on with Gayle King to take it all back. And what does he do? He doubles down on it. So this is the next day.
It was just you making a point. That's not something you would literally do going around attacking people, right?
Well, let me say, is this my camera right there? I want to make sure people can hear me.
Yeah.
Number one, obviously, I'm not gonna go around punching random strangers in the face, first and foremost. Secondly, people can vote for who they want to.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Charles Barkley. Aren't you so glad that Charles Barkley has told us that we can vote for whoever we want to? Isn't that just lovely? I did not know that. Now, it's okay?
People can vote for who they want to. The point I was trying to make.
There you go.
No, the point I was making. I wasn't trying to make it.
Okay.
When Donald Trump compares his plight with that of the black person,
Yes.
that is what I had a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Now I do want to say this. I want to make it perfectly clear. If you're a black person and you're wearing a Donald Trump mugshot, you are a freaking idiot. I'm only saying freaking idiot because they won't let me say what I really.
You know, and I'll tell you this thing about wearing mugshots is not new. I remember people who were black wearing Mike Tyson mugshot T-shirts. Remember, Mike Tyson went to prison for rape. James Brown went to jail. Remember James Brown? You hear him in some of our promos here. He led police on a multi-state police chase, James Brown. He got arrested, and I remember watching. It's a funny thing, you think about it. I saw Tyson practicing for a fight, and he was wearing a free James Brown T-shirt with James Brown mugshot on it. Tyson, who went on to have his own mugshot. So this thing of wearing mugshots is it's a long tradition in this country.
If you're a black person and you're wearing a Donald Trump mugshot, you are a freaking idiot. And I'm only saying freaking idiot because they won't let me say what I really want to say. But you can figure it out. It spells with an F. But you are. Listen, people can vote for who they want to.
Yes.
But for him to compare his plight with that other African, I don't even like that term, but the black people in America is asinine and stupid. And like I said, you guys can put on those too small T-shirts like y'all got them on. Get a big size if you're going to wear it. Don't put on a medium and act like you got muscles. But that is so. That bothered me.
That irritates.
It bothered me because for him to compare a white billionaire,
yes,
who is in trouble because of stuff he did.
Yes.
Not because of stuff, like black people get in trouble with stuff that happened didn't deserve to do.
Yes.
But for him to compare that to black people's plight, that's just stupid on their part. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all got Nielsen boxes. If y'all gonna wear those tight t-shirts around the house and somebody take pictures. But I do. I'll stick by what I said. If you wear the Trump mugshot around, you are a freaking idiot.
But you aren't going to go just randomly attack people on the street. That's the only point I want to make.
Unless they have the Trump sneakers on, too.
No, see, he just can't help himself. And, I share this for a couple reasons. I love how Barkley and Gayle King are trying to act like they're down with black people. Gayle King is worth many, many millions of dollars, and Barkley, I don't know what his net worth is, but I wouldn't be surprised if he were a billionaire. But he's got to be worth tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. He's one of the most famous people in America and has been for a long, long time. And so for people that are so wealthy and successful, and it's been so long since he wasn't rich and successful, Gayle King too, they don't remember what it was like to be a normal person. A normal person would get arrested for that. Okay? And I've seen people on C-SPAN and on radio stations get picked up for things they've said like that. You cannot incite or threaten violence. And it's not funny. Now, so far as the racial thing, if you look at what Trump is going up against, black DA Fani Willis, Letitia James, black woman, brought all that against him, right? Bragg, black man. The J6 judge in D.C., Chunkin, black woman. There is a racial component to the oppression and the persecution of Donald Trump. It's a liberal Democrat one, but there's also a racial component to it. Look at Fannie, raised by a Black Panther, very arrogant, very nasty, and very racist, like Joy Reid. So there most definitely is a racial component here. So there are a great many similarities. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Ben from Papa.
Hey, Ben. What's up, Ben?
Is there a way to listen to you? Every time I go down to Hollywood, Miami area, I always lose you.
Well, we're on the air in Miami, but as well, I just can't. Do you know the name of which station? I forgot the station we're on in Miami. I'll have to check. But you can listen. Yeah, I'll give you. We're on an HD FM station in Miami. I'll give it to you later. I should know. I'm going to get in trouble for not knowing. Watch. I want to hear. But you can listen to us on the iHeartRadio app, no matter where you go.
Yeah, I called in just to listen because I've been going to Zealand every day, and I've been missing you. But
I went down to Miami Beach yesterday for something, and I saw something I couldn't believe. I took the turnpike to the Golden Glades, which is a nightmare, and I did this at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a mess. And there was a police chase on the swale because it was bumper-to-bumper traffic. And the guy zoomed down, Miami-Dade cop after him. The guy juts across traffic. The cop follows him, and the guy got away right in front of me. He got away. I saw the guy get away from the cop, and the cop turned his sirens off and just started driving normally. I'd never seen anything like that before.
I heard that happens far more often than most people.
How do you get away in a police chase? I couldn't believe it.
He used the traffic against him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was here legally or not.
I hope. Well, I hope it wasn't a violent criminal. A couple years ago, I was driving down 95, going to Miami Beach with my wife. I was in the the center lane, and I heard pop, 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 gunshots. And I got over to the far right lane. I told my wife, I said, "Those are gunshots." And she's like, "Gunshots sound different when you're outside. They don't sound the same way as on the gun range." And sure enough, Channel 7, there were two people shooting at each other in different cars. I mean, Miami's dangerous, man.
Yeah. Ryan, when do you think that Republican AGs are going to actually step up and behave in the same manner that Fani Willis and Letitia James and and Alvin Bragg are going to? I mean, I think the problem at this point is no longer Democrats; it's just the weakness of Republicans that aren't willing to go after these people the same way that they would, go after them. So I don't know why. Half the frustration of all this is we're just sitting here on our hands, not doing anything, and then we get anxious, and then we cheer when the Supreme Court rules in Trump's favor.
Yeah.
In action far before that. I mean, that was like a Hail Mary.
Well, what really I'd like to see is when those hack intelligence officials signed off that the laptop was Russian interference. I'd like to see the Republican state attorney generals get together and have a press conference condemning Fani Willis and all this other lawfare, but that'll happen on the 5th of never.
Matt Gaetz just requested that the Inspector General at the DOJ, Michael Horowitz, look into Jack Smith for pushing for such a rapid, expedited trial date and going against the DOJ guidelines of not interfering with elections. So, I mean,
yeah.
But it's always like we got to rely on these small MAGA sources that are outnumbered by rhinos. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene has done phenomenal work submitting impeachment after impeachment. She's actually a fighter. Matt Gaetz doing good stuff, getting creative with.
Yeah, absolutely.
By and large.
By the way, Al Knight texted me on Miami station, which I'm going to get in so much trouble for not knowing it off the top of my head. You can listen. It's a new station that we recently added, okay? But thank you, Al Knight. You can listen to us on 104.3 HD3 on the FM. And all the new cars, FM radios have HD in them. Most people don't know it. But 104.3 HD3, you can listen to us on the radio in Miami. And by the way, that channel, that signal goes all the way through the Keys. Yeah, so it's a massive signal. Thanks, Al Knight. Now for hopefully management wasn't listening, but you got to assume management's always listening. Oh my goodness. All right, take care. Thanks for the call, man. I remember once I was at another radio station. Something happened, and it was Sunday morning at like 3:45 a.m. and I'm like, no problem. And the program director just had a baby, was feeding his baby, and he heard it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I got the call as soon as I went to break, and I'm like, oh my goodness. You always have to assume everyone's listening when you got a microphone. All right, we'll take a break and be back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you don't trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
I'm just reading over some DMs and emails. Oh my goodness.
They're here 7 days a week for all your family's natural health needs. So stop by Nutrition World at the northeast corner of PGA Boulevard and Prosperity Farms Road in the Carmine's Market Plaza by the Prosperity entrance. You can call us or text us anytime at 561-626-4377. That's 626-4377. Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
There's no shield systems and defense. Our country's real heroes aren't athletes, musicians, or movie stars. They're our first responders and the men and women in our armed forces. They preserve our way of life.
Somebody just left a comment on my YouTube video that I did before I came in. I did a live stream from my car in my driveway this morning. Trump needs you, and talking about some health issues I'm having. And somebody left a comment. I'm going to read this when we get back. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. I just got a comment from a listener online I'm going to read to you in just a moment. But first I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. It's raining again today, and if you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, you've got a leak in your roof. And if you've got a back porch and you got it's dripping, you got a leak in that roof too. Call Tom Laporta. Tom Laporta, who will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need just a simple repair, he'll do it. He covers the entire state of Florida as well, the East Coast and the West Coast of Florida, and everywhere in between. Now, the number we give out is Tom Laporta's cell phone, guys. So I'm going to give you his number right now, and he answers. Or you can text him, too. You can text him at this number, 954-604-4602. Tom Laporta and I, we text mostly. Isn't that kind of people don't really talk too much anymore. So you can call him directly on his cell phone or text him, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com. All right, before I go to the phones, I just, a listener left me a comment, and I'm going to read it to you. They left this comment 7 minutes ago online. Now, of course, you can call me out on the carpet anytime I'm on the air. You can call me. The calls are screenless. Didn't you hear on Joe Thomas? I took his call randomly yesterday without doing an on the line, Jupiter Joe. I didn't know introduction. I said, you're on the air. It's like, it's Jupiter Joe. So you can call me out on the carpet on anything, anytime I'm on the air, right here. The number's toll free. But I don't know why they randomly sent this message, but this is textbook projection. This is like Joy Reid the other night. If a lot of blacks moved into your neighborhood, Brian, you would sell your house. White flight. Not only is that not true, it's actually the opposite. Of course, my daughter's black. I'm going to say that again. I mean, I'm sorry, So everywhere I move, I'm bringing blacks with me, with my daughter. But other than that, next door to me, black woman lives right next door to me. Across the street, black family across the street. Okay? The house next to the one across the street, I don't know what ethnicity they are. They're not black, they're not white. They're like from Guyana or something. There's some strange, I can't quite make out that ethnicity. It's not Hispanic, I don't know what it is. There's some white people next door to me, but on the other side, but on the west side of my house, black woman. Got white family on the left side. Across the street, black family. And then right next door, another ethnicity that I can't quite figure out what that is. They kind of look like they're from India, but they're from Guyana. So no, quite the opposite is true. But that's how liberals roll. It is 100% projection, just like Joy Reid the other night. But going back though to Barkley, if someone, I don't care who they are, a celebrity, an athlete, an anchor, a person, said on Fox or Newsmax what Charles Barkley said, they'd be in big trouble. Big trouble. Okay? Could you imagine, this shoe on the foot test, the shoe on the other foot test? Let me play the beginning of Barkley again, and then we'll do the shoe on the other foot test, and I'll explain what that is, okay?
If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Charles.
I know, Gil.
You really can't say that because, A, you don't mean that.
I mean that sincerely.
Okay, I'll punch him in. If Sean Hannity said, if I see a black person with a Biden-Harris shirt on, I want to punch him in the face, what would happen? He'd be done. He'd be done. Why is it okay for Barkley to say it on CNN? It's because liberal, you know what it is? It's not just that he's black and famous and an athlete, none of that. But liberals believe that it's okay to commit acts of violence against Republicans. So no one that is in the power structure sees that as a problem. They think we deserve it. Don't you get it? They think we deserve it. I know it's crazy and it doesn't make sense, but Democrats are crazy and don't make a lot of sense. They think that we deserve these things. I told you guys I had a Democrat push me out in front of oncoming traffic during rush hour in front of the federal courthouse in downtown Fort Lauderdale, in front of rush hour traffic on Broward Boulevard in the afternoon, and laughed while he did it. He thought it was funny. Just came up to me and caught me off guard. I caught myself on two cars that were parked on the street. And he felt totally justified in trying to kill me. I had a Democrat at an event once recognize me from this and came and tried to break my nose. And then they told the cop they went and got a cop and said I hit them. And their friend backed him up and said, I saw him, he hit her. Democrats are not only violent people, they always have been, and they feel justified. Why? Because they're Marxist. They're communist. Okay? And that's why someone like Barkley is not in trouble. Oh, real quick here. On Super Tuesday, I forgot to mention this yesterday. I was watching cable news, which I rarely do, and I watched The Five for the first time in quite some time. What happened to Jesse Waters? Is he sick? He reminds me of, you know what he looks like? I'm not saying he has this. He looks like Rock Hudson when he left Paris with AIDS. I'm not saying Jesse Waters has any disease, but he does not look well. Is he on some weight loss kick? He looked like a different person. He looked weird. He looked sick. I haven't seen him in a while. I probably won't see him again for a long while because I really don't care for that show or him in particular. But he did not look well, Jesse Waters. Any idea what's going on with that? All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour and be back right after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1.
I mean, did you guys notice Jesse Waters? He did not look well. What's up with Jesse Waters? Does anyone know? He did not look well. He looked very strange to me.
Backup. Call 833-283-5050. And you also get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. That's 833-283-5050. Sloman, the difference is human.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update. President Biden will deliver his third State of the Union address tonight. He's planning to point out jobs, his infrastructure chip, and Inflation Reduction Act. White House Press Secretary Connie telling ABC's Start Here that the president will also emphasize how the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade has limited reproductive rights.
Roe v. Wade needs to become the law of the land. That's how we're going to protect women and their decisions, their own personal decisions that they have to make with doctors. And so that's what we're going to fight for. That's what the president's going to continue to speak to the next couple of months.
Former Ana Gutierrez Wednesday found guilty by a jury of involuntary manslaughter. The rest will be sent to not guilty of tampering with evidence. As the security situation quickly devolves in Haiti, U.S. citizens are being told to depart as soon as possible. The country spiraling into anarchy when violent gangs seize control. This is ABC News.
Sorry.
Shawna's greenhouse is really bringing in the green. She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're back. Every line on the board is lit. Something I said. Hour number 2 has begun. I just want to say one thing before we go to the phones. I was listening to the top of the hour news. Karine Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre said that they want to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land so women can make choices about their own bodies. And it's interesting. I'm going to throw this out. Can women decide to be prostitutes? If a woman decides that she wants to sell her body for I'm not talking about OnlyFans, okay? I'm talking about have the men come over and have sex with her for money. Can she do that? It's her body. What about shoot up heroin or smoke crack or do a couple lines of blow with Hunter? Is that okay to do with your body? Is that legal? I don't think it is. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Tom. I'm calling from North Carolina.
Yes, Tom.
I'm calling to talk about the vice president, man.
Willie Brown's girlfriend. Oh, you mean
who Trump's gonna pick?
Okay.
Yeah. I want to know what you think about Vivek, man, because I'm really hoping he picks Vivek.
Why?
A lot of people seem.
Why?
My main things is I think he'd be one of the top 2 or 3 picks as far as.
Why? What makes you say that? What has he done?
That guy's very smart. He understands the issues, and he's.
Wait, he know. What has he done? What has he accomplished?
He's made millions or billions of dollars. I mean,
how? How do you make billions of dollars?
See, this is what I don't like, man. Is I don't understand why this guy gets so much crap from people. What would he have to?
Oh no, he's not getting crap. I'm not giving Vivek crap. I'm giving you crap. No, I'm giving you crap. Well, I want you to think about what you're saying here. By the way, how do you spell his last name?
As far as I know, it's Ramaswamy.
You sure? You're not. Yeah, and you don't know any. Okay, so you're not sure how to spell his name. You don't know how he made his money. Really, nothing. Do you think it's smart to send somebody to be president of the United States? Because vice president, they're heartbeat away and get the nomination. Do you think it? So here's my question. Let me ask my question. Do you think it is smart to set someone up to be president of the United States who you know nothing about?
I know enough about him. I know where he's...
Not really.
And I know he has Trump's back.
Wait a minute. How did he make his billions of dollars?
I'm no expert. Technology.
Technology? No. Nope.
You tell me. You inform me then.
No, you're the one who wants to. You're the one who wants him to be vice president. It's not for me to pump up this guy's resume. You're the one that wants Trump to make him vice president. So it's up to you to tell us why.
Oh man, here's the problem. Because you didn't even let me finish talking about why I wanted him to be vice president. I still had.
Well, this isn't first off, tomorrow is open phones, not today, and this is not on the topics I brought up. But it's not a place where you make speeches. I think we're having an interesting conversation. You don't know anything about him, yet you want him to be the second man. But you want him to be this. No, you don't. With
the issues, and for example, when he talks about foreign policy, when he talks about the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
The only one that's even in the same ballpark is Trump.
See, I don't want someone who talks. I want someone who does and has done. Like when Donald Trump came down, when Donald Trump, go ahead, ask your question about Trump. I'll answer it.
It's not really a question. It's a rhetorical question.
Ask your question. Ask your rhetorical question.
My question was, Trump. When he first ran, and don't take it the wrong way, because I was one of the very first Trump supporters from day one, from as soon as he announced he was running. And it's some of it's a gut instinct, the same way it is with Vivek. Because
no. What is your rhetorical question about Trump?
Other than talking about ending the Iraq war.
Okay, well, what you're trying to ask is, when Trump ran the first time, what you're trying to ask is when Trump ran the first time, what did he ever do, right?
In the respect of how you're saying it about Vivek.
Oh, well, first off, Donald Trump has been one of the most famous Americans almost my entire life, okay? So everyone knows, hold on, stop talking and just listen for a second. Everyone knows everything about Donald. When he came down the escalator, we knew everything about Donald Trump. Where he's from, who his parents were, how he spent his life, even his personal things with his different wives and his children. We know how he made his money. And he also had lots of foreign policy experience. These resorts and hotels and buildings that he's constructed around the world, in places like China and in Scotland and such, he's had dealings with foreign governments in international construction projects his entire life. So, he had experience. Ramaswamy made his billions in the pharmaceutical industry, okay? Now you can pretend to have known that. So since when are MAGA people big fans of big pharma all of a sudden?
Big pharma is not my favorite thing, but...
Well, that's how he made his money. I'm not even getting into the Soros stuff. I like Ramaswamy telling young people vote Trump. I love that. But we had a very bad experience with a guy named Obama that we knew nothing about. He became president, and look at what he's done to this country. He's destroying it today. So I don't think we should put someone in charge that we know nothing about.
We knew all kinds of things about Obama. So I disagree with that completely, because now the mainstream media wasn't reporting it, but at the time, we knew all kinds of things. We knew about his, communist stepdad.
No, that came out as he was winning the nomination. When he first came on the scene, no one knew anything about him.
And people still voted for him. So I disagree, because now to say we didn't know anything about him when they elected him to win the Democrat primary, maybe that's somewhat true.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not a Democrat, and so I don't even care about it.
Well, it doesn't seem like you know too much about the Republican either. I mean, where's Vivek Ramesh? Where is Vivek from?
He's from Ohio.
Cincinnati? You don't know? You're not sure?
Told you, Cincinnati. Yeah, that's where he was born. It was a big...
Ohio is a big place. What did he do in Ohio?
He was born there.
He was born there. And? What did he do there? All right, I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. Low information voter, people. Low information voter. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, it's the masked lady.
Yes.
Boca. I know it's not open phones, but I'm so upset about this voting business.
No, tomorrow. It's not. Tomorrow is open phones. Friday is open phones. Today's Thursday, Louise. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Dan Johnson. Nope.
Hey, Dan. What's up, Dan?
Oh, what you do that me? Good morning. I turned my TV off, so I didn't know exactly where we were.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of quick comments. Just trying to remind you, when it comes to people like Barkley, you can't fix stupid, and violence is the last resort of a limited mind.
Now.
Go Trump 2024.
All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
That last comment is a typical person who falls for the rhetoric that all these state politicians say. They come up with all kinds of sweet-sounding things, and then you put them in office, and you find out like the same.
You know, listen. I don't know if Vivek is a good guy or a bad guy. I know he can help Trump win. He can help Trump win with young people, which I love and support. And I don't want to sit here and criticize the guy. And since he dropped out and endorsed Trump, I haven't. But the guy brought him up. But we have to be cautious. Listen, President Trump only has one term left. This vice presidential pick's a big one because whoever the vice president is has a very high likelihood of being the second MAGA president. And I just don't think we should hand that over to someone we know nothing about.
That's right. You know, that's the thing. When President Trump came down yesterday, we've heard him talk about politics for years. We knew everything about this guy. Barack Obama came out and it was like, who the hell is this?
That's right.
And this is what he did to us. You know, so anyway.
In fact, I remember when Obama was running, when Barack Obama was running the first time, Joy Behar and the girls on The View were talking about him. Joy Behar called him Barack Osama.
I remember that.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, Barack Osama. Ted Kennedy on the floor of the Senate called him Barack Osama. He was being introduced by a Democrat for one of his campaign rallies when he was first running. They introduced him as Barack Hussein Osama. And Barack came up and said, it's Obama, not Osama. And the guy said, oh. And that was, and look what we're dealing with today. Big shock with all this anti-Semitism around the country. And I'm not saying that Vivek is good or bad. He's too unknown. When Donald Trump came down the escalator, we knew everything about him.
We have to know who we're voting for and not listen.
I mean, I can hardly remember a time in my life when I remember the first time I saw Donald Trump and heard of him was on Regis Philbin's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Okay, I used to love that show. Robin Leach. Did I say Regis Philbin? It was Robin Leach's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Robin Leach's Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. First time I ever heard of Donald Trump, because I'm not from New York, was on that show, and I was like blown away. I was like, wow, this guy's impressive. And from that was in the 80s when I was like in middle school, you know. And so people have known Donald Trump our entire lives.
Big difference when somebody's been talking his whole life compared to the guy who was just up there. I'm not just talking about Swami. Anybody, all these politicians, unless you know them, you have to be very careful.
Just because someone says conservative things, don't get excited. Look at DeSantis.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. You know, you have to find it. Yeah, I mean, if there's nobody running except these people, I guess you have to take a chance. But to put him in, of all the people to be vice president, I think he's not the guy who's to be put in for vice president.
I tell you, did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene tell that BBC reporter to F off yesterday at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
Now that was, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. I wouldn't mind her being vice president. That was awesome.
She's great. I was like John Kennedy.
She was doing it. She was being interviewed by this liberal BBC reporter, And, you know, she doesn't know anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene, only what she heard about from the Young Turks and MSNBC. And she asked her about the Jewish space laser comment, which Marjorie Taylor Greene never said. The liberals said it. She never said it. And Marjorie Taylor Greene said to the BBC reporter, F you. It was beautiful. It's beautiful.
She's exactly that. There's somebody that we're knowing, you know.
That's like the best word in the English language. It says so much, you know.
Everybody uses it too.
I wish I took the clip and bleeped it to play, but it loses the impact when you bleep it out. You gotta go online and hear her actually say it.
Yeah, no, unfortunately you can't use it on the radio, but. Which is amazing that
he can break all the rules of broadcasting.
I know. For some reason, that's another weird one, man. He can do stuff that nobody else can do. And then if you're on CNN, I guess, or NBC, that's the license to do what you want.
Mm-hmm. All right, Doug. Take care. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, hang in there. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get into action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000.
Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to go back to the phones when we get back. And if you're new, what I was talking about is Friday's show, which is tomorrow, is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. And people can call in about anything and everything on their mind on Friday's show. The other days of the week, we got to keep it focused on the issues that I'm bringing up. We'll be back shortly from the break. This is the radio station break. Where's everyone located? Like what state, what country, what city, however you want to identify. I, of course, am in Palm Beach, Florida, South Florida. Right up the street from Mar-a-Lago. Tennessee, Mississippi, New Hampshire, Texas, USA. Is there another Texas, Doug Carter? North Carolina, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, PA, Valrico, Florida. Never heard of that. The Bahamas, welcome. It's better in the Bahamas. Michigan, Liverpool, Texas, North Carolina, West Virginia, Daytona, Florida, Orlando, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Iowa, Michigan, Virginia. We're big in Massachusetts. Lake County, Florida. Tennessee, Sumter, Michigan, north of Detroit. Hartford County, Maryland, northern Indiana. Virginia. Alaska, near Earth orbit. All right, International Space Station call in there. Colorado, Sarah. Sarah's going to be on the cruise. You know, I don't say in the chat, Sarah, but because I don't know. But I was talking to Ian because a lot of you guys that are flying in, I recommended a particular hotel that he should set you guys up in. I don't know if he set you guys up in that hotel or not. or if he found a better deal somewhere else.
95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and any the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Oh, Elon Musk a couple days ago flew here and met President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I don't know what that meeting was about. But when I drove down to Miami yesterday, I saw for the first time in person on the Turnpike, no, it was 95, on 95 in Miami, I saw one of Elon Musk's Cybertrucks for the first time. Have you seen a Cybertruck on the road yet? Have you seen one on the road yet? It is the ugliest, cheapest looking thing. I was in shock, okay? It looks awful. It looks cheap. I know the base price is $100,000 on those things, and I wanted to see who was driving it because I'm in Miami, going to Miami Beach, and they're filming the new Bad Boys movie right now in Miami, and I saw the Cybertruck, and it was way behind me, and I told my wife, I said, I got to see who's driving that. I said, that could be Will Smith driving that thing because we're in Miami, they're filming Bad Boys. And so I slowed down so they get up next to me, and it was two millennial guys with these, those millennial beards that those guys have, where they spend all their time on beard products and stuff. They're rich, but they're not famous. But I was not impressed with the look of the Cybertruck. I got to tell you, it looks much more impressive online and on TV. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Oh, hey, PJ.
Listen, I get to Fani Willis in a minute, but man, there's something. I'm getting weird vibes about the State of the Union address tonight. I mean, let's see what happens, but I have a very weird feeling. In fact, I won't be a bit surprised if in the middle of Biden's speech we start hearing screams of ceasefire. It's going to be a big thing. And you know what? The thing is, not necessarily from the gallery, from down in the chamber.
All right, slow down. So this is it. So what you're thinking is like the squad will start yelling pro-Palestinian terrorist stuff?
Exactly. I'm looking at, especially thinking of Talib from Michigan and Ilhan Omar, and then maybe others will join in, like the fire alarm guy from New York. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I know everyone's talking about his energy level. They get him all hopped up on whatever they give him. So he'll be during these State of the Unions, they pull the John Gill treatment on him and they get him through it.
Yeah, well, it's at 9 o'clock, so that means it's like sunset. Normally it's sunset time for him, so they will be putting something into him. I'm not gonna
watch it. I'll catch the highlights in the morning when I get up. I can't sit there and watch that.
Yeah, but he will. You know what the thing is it would be effective on Biden, because whenever they do that, I remember they did that in the church, and he looks completely confused and lost when that happened.
But I remember in Trump in one of his State of the Unions, it was so cool what he did. He got the squad to applaud him. Trump at one of the state, he was it was the State of the Union. I don't remember which one it was, but it was the one where the squad was wearing all white. And Trump said, now, we have more women, under my president, we have more women in Congress than ever before. And even AOC and Talib were applauding Trump when he said that. It was beautiful. What a manipulation that was. It was hilarious.
Well, I won't be surprised if, somehow the media, if that happens, the media will somehow blame Trump supporters.
So what about Fani? Tell me about Fani.
Oh, yeah. So the thing is for that Judge McAfee, I mean, with all this overwhelming evidence of her corruption, I don't see how, for him to say, no, I'm going to let her go ahead with it, he's basically telling Fulton County, hey, I want you to waste your time and waste a lot of money on a trial that's absolutely certain to be overturned on appeal due to overwhelming evidence of corruption. I don't see him doing that. I don't think he has a choice but to disqualify her.
The judge that donated to her campaign, and I don't know. I would say it's 50-50. It's 50-50. There's no way to predict. You know, there's no way to predict. Fani Willis, when she came in to that last court appearance with her boy toy, Gigolo, she looked like she was on top of the world, like she didn't have a worry in the world.
Yeah, but the thing is, I wouldn't put too much stock on the judge donating to her because, first of all, it's $150. All right, now, but here's the thing. A lot of conservative-type people were donating to her because at the time she was running against another DA that was overwhelmingly corrupt.
Well, $150 is more than I've ever donated to a politician.
Yeah, but the thing is because there was an interview, I think, on TV with somebody, conservative guy. He says, yeah, even I donated to Fani Willis because at the time she seemed like a good choice against a corrupt DA. So that's why I wouldn't put too much stock on it.
Yeah, now so I'm going to see you on the cruise, and I've been saying that I'm not going to drink alcohol on the cruise. You think I'll be able to do that? Get for 8 days?
No, that absolutely, don't even say that's not happening. That's absolutely not happening. And especially when you see that mint julep for the first time, curiosity will get the...
You know, I had a mint julep once. I don't remember what it tasted like, but I remember saying it tastes good. So I'll get, but I don't know. Why do you think it's not happening? You don't think I have control to not drink?
No, absolutely not. No. Ship. Not on the ship. No. Here's the thing about the ship. I'm not a big drinker. You know, I'll have a beer or so every once in a while. You know.
Yeah, me either.
But for some reason, I don't know what it is, but the moment my foot hits aboard the ship, all of a sudden there's an overwhelming desire comes over me to start hitting the booze immediately.
I know. It's an urge. All right, PJ, I'll see you on the cruise. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, prove it wrong.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember if it was the last cruise or the one before, but I partook too much that I didn't drink the last 2 days. I got through the last two, and I still, I think, was drunk from the. I mean, I had. Yeah, I was really. Yeah, exactly. And the drinks are all included, and you can order anything you want as many times a day as you want. So sometimes, like, I'll just order something to taste it, and I'll take a sip, and if I don't like it, I'll just, Well, my problem is what I like to drink, okay? I like martinis, I like tequila, and I like screwdrivers. But a lot of times what I get is cranberry sour with Patron. Yeah, Grey Goose. Yeah, I like Grey Goose too. Well, they have one bar that is a martini bar, and they have so many different martinis, and they put on a show. I'm going to make on. That's why I was telling you guys to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, because I'm going to upload a bunch of stuff from the cruise on my other YouTube channel, and I'll do a whole video probably just on the martini bar. So just because I order drinks to show them on YouTube does not mean I'm consuming them.
this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling.
Anyone who says no drinking is borderline alcoholic. No, I really don't drink except on the cruises. But I had way too much on the last one. I was having a good time, but I was not alone. With that, I'll tell you that.
Non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today.
Oh, that's abuse. Ordering them and not drinking them.
That's 754-222-6642.
Special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Corey Hennessy, DC, and 8 Healthcare. Dr. Hennessy, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
I think it was not this one, the one before. The last 2 days, I drank nothing but water. But what I do, though, when I do drink on the cruises, I'll have a drink, then a bottled water, then a drink, then a bottled water. I try to have a bottled water in between. It helps with you get hangovers. And if you drink top shelf alcohol, you don't get the hangovers either. Main Street Moments is my vlog channel. I'll put the link in the next break. I'll put the link in the...
47 years on the...
All right, we are back. Covered a lot of big stories today. We'll take some more calls before I bring up anything new or recap. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Richie.
Richie the bus driver. What's up?
I want to address Charles Barkley.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Here we go. You got Baltimore, St. Louis, Boston, Philadelphia, San Francisco, all these cities, okay, that they get people like Charles Barkley up there every election, celebrities, athletes, and they talk to the black community. And I think that if you vote for a Democrat, you're out of your mind if you're black, because nothing in these cities change. Because you don't vote for what's good for you. You vote for what they tell you to do. You don't vote your interests. And the black community is to change things. Now, somebody sent you a little note. You were reading.
Yeah.
Blacks would move into your neighborhood. You moved out.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. For myself,
I bring the blacks with me when I move into a neighborhood. It's kind of the opposite.
I'm going to bring something. I'm from New York City, which is everyone knows is a melting pot. I lived in Hollywood, Florida. Brian will tell you. Anyone living in Florida.
That's my other channel, so that's where all the cruise stuff will be. So sub to that if you don't mind.
Probably now half the island of Haiti. If the seas were level, they'd be coming in here right away because of the problems there. I've lived amongst all types of people. Personally, myself, if I lived like where I'm living now, if a black person moved next door to me, I wouldn't put my house up for sale.
What if two black families moved in?
I'm getting all this.
Oh, okay, we're going to build up to it.
If my whole community turned black, the first thing I would do is put my house up for sale.
Really?
Why? I'm just like every black that tries to better themselves to get out of a neighborhood. In other words, my idea is this: look at Miami Beach. What they had to stop what's going on down there because of the shootings and everything, and it was 99% black during spring.
Richie, the way you say it, you don't say black, you say black. You have this weird tone when you say black.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is because Fort Lauderdale, you don't see that. You have a sprinkle of blacks, but mostly white spring breakers. The fact is that in a black culture, with the gun culture and the gang culture, you see a lot of problems. You see it in the inner cities. You see, I'm going to straighten it. I'm talking straight up, and anyone could disagree with me, but I don't think they will. Because when you see inner cities, you see the shootings that go on the inner Chicago.
No, okay. No, hold on. What happens is, what happens with neighborhoods, because I've lived in my house 20 years this month. And what happens with, neighborhoods, as I've done some research on this, neighborhoods turn over every 16 years on average. And different people move in. And as neighborhoods get older, neighborhoods can decline. And what happens when neighborhoods start to decline, that's when people typically sell. I think the days of white people selling their homes because minorities move in, those days are over, because the country the country is so integrated now, and so many of the relationships themselves are interracial. It's an economic thing. Like, my wife and I are thinking about, I don't want to sell my house or move. I got my house 20 years ago at a darn good deal, let me tell you. But because of the housing prices in Florida, I live in a nice area, nice community and development, but houses are starting to be rented, and which I don't even know why that's allowed in my HOA. But when houses are up for rent, well, yeah, they can't afford to buy, and you can tell the houses that are rentals. Because of how many cars are parked out front, right? They got like 6-8 cars. It takes 8 to 10 people to pay the rent. So because the neighborhood's getting rental houses now in it, I'm starting to think, well, maybe I got to do what I don't want to do. And as crazy as this sounds, I've been telling my wife, I said, well, maybe we should wait a couple years and we can move into one of those 55 plus communities, But
it's too high right now.
Hey, no, exactly.
But the point I'm making is this: the gun culture amongst young black youths is very strong in this country. Gangs. I'm talking about gangs, and I'm not saying that this is an inherited thing. This is something that's happening, and I don't know the reason why, but it is. And most people don't want to live in a neighborhood where if you go to a pool, there's a drive-by shooting because they're trying to eliminate something. Yeah. Pool, everyone gets shot up. I don't want that.
I mean, I could not believe this. I don't know if you were listening when I talked about this earlier. I saw a police chase on I-95 in Miami, just south of the Golden Glades yesterday, southbound, just south of the Golden Glades, and the guy got away. And
somebody is in danger. They're going to back off because they don't want to.
No, he was chasing him down the swale at high speeds, and then he just turned his sirens off, and the guy disappeared. I've never seen somebody beat a police. All right, Richie, well, take care. So, Richie thinks he looks good in that call. Mm-hmm. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Patty from New Jersey.
Hey, Patty.
So I need to respond to Richie a little bit here. I grew up in Upper Montclair, New Jersey when I was young, and our street was all white. We had a black family move onto our street, and everybody was up in arms. The people wound up being wonderful people, okay? And you know what? This goes layers deep where, unfortunately, a lot of the black community are in these Democrat-run areas. They don't know better, and it's not because they're dumb. It's just because, it's like anything. You become accustomed. I did a lot.
Really? I mean, have you ever gone into all this racial talk? My goodness. Have you ever gone into like a low income trailer park that's white people? I mean, it's the same thing. It's not a racial thing. If your neighborhood starts to decline and turn into a lower income neighborhood, you're going to get a different quality of people in your neighborhood. Okay? And it's not a racial thing. It's an economic I don't want to sound, it's an economic thing. All right, I appreciate the call. It is not open phones today, okay? Open phones is Friday. And, got to get back control of the program. Now, listen, after the next break, I do have some other issues we haven't touched on yet, and I do want to recap this big story with Fani Willis. Fani Willis is in big, big trouble. Not just because she perjured herself. She's been exposed in a big, big way, and there's proof of it that is written record proof. So she's in big trouble, and the case against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, in Fulton County fell apart yesterday. And I do want to recap that as well as get into the other stories that we have to cover. Just one last thing on that Elon Musk Cybertruck that I saw yesterday. It's also a lot smaller than I thought. I thought that Cybertruck was going to be like the original Humvees. It's a tiny thing. I was surprised how small it was. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
Listen, Democrats since 2015 have been proving they lied, spied.
Yes.
Nothing happened. So what's the difference now? I mean, she is lower on the totem pole. Each other to the nth degree.
Well, the difference is after the break, I'm going to share with you what's different, okay? Because I don't have time to do it now, but after the break, listen, and I'm going to play an audio soundbite from CNN, and it'll answer your question, all right? All right. Yeah, I'll give you the last word because I got a break. I just looked at the clock.
Yeah, Trump has never left we the people. He is for we the people, the Constitution, and America first. He's never left us. We'll never leave him, and he's going to win November 5th. And
That's right. We're going to have our country back. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, we have our next workshop is going to be on Thursday, the 21st of this month, and it's going to be at 10 a.m. in our offices in Boca Raton. And at that workshop, not only are we going to talk about living trusts and wills and powers of attorney and all the healthcare documents and the planning you need to do to leave a legacy and avoid probate and avoid guardianship and protect your beneficiaries. We talk about some of the things that most of us don't even know exist. They're way out in that zone of not just things we don't know, but things we don't even know that we don't know. Some of the things about language that could be put into your estate plan that could be the difference between protecting everything and losing everything simply by having a clause in there that most estate plans, most wills, most trusts, most powers of attorney do not have this language in it. And if you don't have it, you could end up losing everything. Other things people learn about is they learn about a lot of our free services that clients get, such as a free 3-year review. Every 3 years they get a free review, a free post-death consultation with the trustee or executor, and also this is one that people don't believe. In fact, I see people, when they're in our workshops, taking their glasses and wiping them down because they think there's fog all over it, because when I show it on the screen, free phone calls with our staff and attorneys as necessary. So what they don't get is one of those little bills in the mail that we've all gotten from attorneys or CPAs or other professionals when you call and you ask a quick question and you end up getting that envelope with a bill for 0.1 or 0.2 hours for $80 or $150, whatever it might be, just for asking a quick question. They get that at the Siegel Law Group because we want them to get the information they need to make their estate plan work. That's our goal, and we want to align everything we do to make sure that happens.
And let me tell you, that's a big deal. Like my HOA, I can call my HOA attorney up anytime, get a party line going. He loves to take calls. And the reason that Attorney Barry Siegel, you at the Siegel Law Group do not charge for phone calls, you talk about this, is because you don't want someone not to call and get some information or maybe update their documents because they're afraid of that quarter-hour phone call charge that other attorneys throw at them.
Right. We want them to get the information they need to do the right thing for their estate plan. And we know for some people, not everybody, but for some people, that's going to be an impediment to them getting the right information because they're going to be sensitive about making that call.
That's right.
And getting a bill from an attorney. And I understand that, so that's why we don't do it.
Absolutely. So give the Siegel Law Group a call. Remember, It is a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. And no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. And that workshop is coming up on the 21st? Yeah, and that's right. And the number is 855-FLA-3782. And a lot of times at these workshops at the Siegel Law Group, adult children bring their parents, and because the kids need to get this stuff together. They're the ones that are going to be dealing with it. You'll be gone, right? 855-FLA-3782 and online at SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, take care. All right, we are back. It is 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. So I want to address what's different this time, but let me just recap first. There was a hearing yesterday. Let me pull this up because this was, I was going to do this in the 8 o'clock hour again, but I'm going to recap it now because of Jeff's call. Fani Willis is in a lot of trouble, okay? There was a big hearing yesterday. And in that hearing, by the way, she was paying her boy toy gigolo Nathan Wade double the salary of his other colleagues. But the attorney for the Trump co-defendant was testifying at this investigative committee yesterday, and she brought out some records. Listen, this is Merchant's testimony.
There's one of the other things I did was I did open records for the White House access, and we had records that Ms. Willis and the mayor of Atlanta were at meeting with the vice president.
Okay, and so this is the access history. How does that work? The White House keeps records of anybody that comes in and has any kind of official meeting for sure?
Yes, and my understanding is it's highly regulated who can access the White House, and so you have to apply in person or apply ahead of time, and then they give you a time when you make the appointment, and they give you a time when you're allowed to be in and when you have to be out by, and they track you. And I mean, that makes sense. They don't want anybody lingering in the White House, but they keep that. And so they're called WAVE records, I believe is what they're called. And I'm not sure what that's an acronym for, but they're publicly available. They're open records.
And this record that's shown on the screen shows Fani Willis was a visitor with V. POTUS. I presume that's Vice President of the United States?
Yes, it was.
And what was the date of that back in, was that February sometime of 23?
February 28, 2023.
Is that before the indictment?
Yes.
Okay. Any further explanation of why Ms. Willis was meeting with the Vice President of the United States?
No.
Okay. So that was, she's in trouble. So we have Fani Willis, White House visitor logs, met with Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, months before the indictment of President Trump, obviously colluding on the indictment. We have her gigolo boyfriend, her hookup, her boy toy, Nathan Wade, meeting with White House counsel, too, according to the visitor logs. And it also came out that, as I said at the beginning of this, that Fulton County Sugar Mama District Attorney Fani Willis was paying her gigolo boyfriend Nathan Wade double the salary of other people with the same level job. Big stuff. So Jeff said, what's different? Because they've done all these things. Well, what's different is Trump is coming back with a mandate. I mean, you see what's going on. He's drained the Republican swamp and is taking control of the RNC and the Republican Party. And that's not me saying this. This is CNN. And I want to. This is John King. This is on Super Tuesday discussions they're having. And it's John King with Jake Tapper. So you got two liberal jerks that hate Trump like the plague. And they're talking about the current state of the Republican Party. And this is amazing because it's John King and Jake Tapper on CNN.
The map tells you what you need to know. The delegate count tells you what you need to know. The percentage of it has actually jumped up even more. It's 88% of the delegates, so you look at the percentage. Donald Trump cannot mathematically clinch tonight, but he can get within 100 or so of what he needs, and he can do that next week. And so what you have here is, he has remade the party in his image. There are still some Republicans who are trying to take it away, like take it back. Right? That's over. That's over. There's no back.
Okay, so that's John King. So he's telling Jake Tapper on CNN on Tuesday night that it's Trump's Republican Party now, and there's no going back. That's amazing.
Tonight, but he can get within 100 or so of what he needs, and he can do that next week. And so what you have here is, he has remade the party in his image. There are still some Republicans who are trying to take it away, like take it back. Right? That's over. That's over. There's no back. That party doesn't exist anymore. Right. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Look at the House of Representatives. Look at what's happening in the United States Senate. Mitch McConnell stepping aside. And some of the more governing conservatives trying to keep their power even just within the Senate Republican conference. This is a new Republican Party. And so you have a very formidable Republican frontrunner who has remade the party in his image. And I know a lot of people at home are asking, well, wait a minute. We all saw January 6th. Wait a minute. The innocent until proven guilty, but there's all these cases. He has convinced them, and so this is his party. And again, sometimes I think you have to stop talking. Just look. This is his party, and he is on a march to the nomination. That does not mean if the general election were tomorrow, there's a lot of data that suggests he would win.
Wow. So isn't that something? So what's different now is Trump has control of something that he didn't have in his first term, and that is of the Republican Party. He built over 500 miles of wall. It was almost done, but because of Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, it wasn't. They're both out. And what John King is saying here, and he's an insider who knows, Trump got rid of Mitch McConnell. That's it. And there's no going back. President Trump, I remember, I told you guys this. I saw him the last 15 minutes of his first term. And I made a YouTube video, and you see it. And I saw him. I was one of the last people to see him in his first term as president. And he's happy as can be. And I said right then, and everybody else, we were sad. I mean, well, it was Biden's inauguration. And I said then, and I came on the air the next day and told you guys, President Trump does not have a worry in the world. He knows something and he's got plans. I don't know what they are, but he's not worried. And if he's not worried, we don't have to be worried. And here we are 3 years later, and you have Jake Tapper and John King doing detailed they're insider Washington people, doing insider analysis telling you that the Republican establishment is out. They're done. They've lost control of the Republican Party. Trump has taken control of it. This is amazing. I hope he's been writing his memoirs during all of this, which should be titled The Art of the Political Deal. Should be his presidential autobiography, shouldn't it? I like that. The Art of the Political Deal. Yeah. And that's amazing. So that's what's different. Because last time Trump was in the White House, he had the Republicans working against him with the Democrats. Now it's his. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to have Republicans still griping. Do you think it was an easy thing for them to pull Nikki Haley out of this? They didn't have to, and they did. She's got enough money left to continue, but the establishment pulled her out. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a third-party run in battleground states. I don't know. But I know this. When CNN's John King and Jake Tapper are telling you that this is Trump's Republican Party now, that it's over, that the Republican establishment Lincoln Project holdouts are like those Japanese guys you used to read about in the Weekly World News in the 70s, that they would find these Japanese soldiers on islands in the 70s who thought the war was still going on. I don't know if that was true. It was in the tabloids. That's what the Republican uniparty establishment types are now. They've lost, Trump's won, and that's it. And John King said there is no going back. So that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Now, I want to tell you guys, the free shipping offer at MyPillow.com continues site-wide. This free shipping will end without notice, and I check it every day. I checked this morning right before I went on the air, and it's free shipping on everything site-wide at MyPillow.com. No matter how small, no matter how large the purchase, free shipping site-wide with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And I'll tell you, I was looking this morning, the 2-inch MyPillow mattress topper is less than $100 now. And I bought 2 of these, and I've slept on them both. On my marital bed, we have the mattress topper 2.0, which is a 3-inch mattress topper, which is spectacular. And I was sleeping in the guest room for a couple nights because my wife was under the weather. I didn't want to get sick. And I had no idea that was the 2-inch mattress topper. I thought it's so comfortable. I had no idea. I didn't know until we took the sheets off and made the bed. And I said, this is the 2-inch mattress topper? I had no idea. The 2-inch mattress topper is really good. It's less than $100 right now with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and free shipping at mypillow.com. But again, you get free shipping on everything site-wide, not just the things I talk about with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at mypillow.com. All right, now, when we get back from the top of the hour, Steve will be joining us, and I do have some other things that we're going to touch on. And got another soundbite or two that I've not played yet that I do want to play. And just because Trump has this mass mandate that's going on doesn't mean people are caving and they're not going to be attacking him anymore. That's never going to be the case. They're going to be attacking this guy for the rest of his life. I mean, these holdouts are never going to give up. They've been in power for 100 years, okay? And they're not just going to walk away from it. But I'll tell you this, the State of the Union, we'll talk about the State of the Union tomorrow. I don't think there's much to say about the State of the Union before it happens. I think we should wait till tomorrow to find out what happens. PJ made a very good prediction when he called in. He's expecting Tlaib and others to talk about free Palestine and genocide and all that stuff. That's very possible. So far as his energy level, I told you they pump him up with whatever they pump him up. That stuff they found in the White House maybe, I don't know. But I don't expect him to be out of it in low energy. They're going to hop him up on whatever they got to do to bring him out there. I just think it's kind of a waste of time to talk about the State of the Union before it happens. But I'll tell you this, this is a question you got to ask yourself. Who would Lincoln Riley vote for if she could vote right now? If she could vote right now, knowing. I think that answer is obvious. It's not the Democrats, it's not Biden, it's Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans, no doubt about it. All right, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. Back after this.
WSFS 104.3
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here to provide the parts you need for the prices you want. The eBay Guaranteed Bid is guaranteed to put your ride the first time. Keep your ride online at ebaymotors.com.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Come celebrate St. Patrick's Day at the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC. Live Irish music and a $30 all-you-can-eat Irish buffet featuring Ireland's favorite dishes. And make your plans now for our extravagant Easter brunch buffet with On Track Family Fun Fair. Get your picture taken with Ace the Easter Bunny. On Track, we have a petting zoo, face painting, cornhole, and gym mining. More information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hey, check your phone. Someone's on your doorstep and is trying to look for a way to your home. The number is monitoring your home, but you need to call Sloan's now. Sloan's is giving away free $1,500 value.
All right. Where do you want to start? You want to start with something Israel or something satisfying and fun? You want dessert for sometimes, you never know. We could be dead by the end of the hour. One of us could drop dead from a... And they always laugh. There's satisfaction. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They're at 12:10 calls on. I'll just talk. How hard could it around after? This is gonna be cake. This will be easy. I just go on, I talk, and then I take phone calls. Here's what happened. I just talk. How hard could it to manage?
For all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side.
Can you hear me, Steve?
441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs.
Steve, you there?
On the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Springs Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of
Are you there? I don't hear Steve.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News Update. ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Biden will deliver his third State of the Union address tonight. He's planning to point out jobs his infrastructure chip and Inflation Reduction Acts are creating. White House Press Secretary Marie Jean-Pierre telling ABC Start Here that the president will also emphasize how the U.S. Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade has limited reproductive rights.
Roe v. Wade needs to become the law of the land. That's how we're going to protect women and their decisions.
Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes, I can.
All right.
And so that's what we're going to fight for. That's what the president's going to continue to speak to the next couple of months.
Former Anna Gutierrez Wednesday voluntary manslaughter request, which we said she would file evidence. As the security situation quickly evolves in Haiti, U.S. citizens are being told to depart as soon as possible. The country is spiraling into anarchy as violent gangs seize control. This is ABC News.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shawna's greenhouse is really bringing in the green. She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
A whole section for ferns. Here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with
All right. The third hour has begun. I'm Brian. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, man, lots happening.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Did I understand correctly? I've been following this intermittently in my headsets here. Intermittently, that's a good Riverdale Country School word for you. What is this story about Fani, of famous Fani fame, is met with the vice president yesterday?
No, not yesterday. No. There was I played the audio in the earlier segment. There's an ethics hearing into Fani Willis going on and her corruption with her boy toy gigolo, okay? And the attorney that was questioning Fani Willis in the courtroom, a couple weeks ago, she was testifying, and they entered into the record visitor logs from the White House, and Fani Willis visited the White House and met with Kamala Harris a few months before the indictment against President Trump. There's a second visitor log that shows that Nathan Wade, her gigolo boyfriend, prior to the indictment of President Trump, met with the White House lawyer, the White House counsel for Biden and Kamala. So what that shows is, and they've denied this, by the way, so they perjured themselves.
Stop at that point. You say they denied it? I mean, well, if they met, there's a record of it.
Well, yeah, they entered into evidence that Merchant, who's the lady lawyer for the co-defendant of President Trump's that's been questioned, entered into the record the White House visitor logs. So the White House visitor logs show that it did happen. Well, and in collusion, it's obvious collusion. Yeah, so she's in big trouble. Now, she's too stupid and arrogant and spoiled to realize it because, like, she's like Hunter Biden. She's raised by this Black Panther militant father, and she thinks that she's entitled to do whatever it is she wants to do to continue the fight against whiteness. But she's in trouble, Fani. And regardless of what the judge rules in that case, this is not going to end with anything other than anything done against Trump being reversed. It's over. The whole Fani Willis Fulton County case is over. And that doesn't mean that this judge is going to rule in our favor, because he very well could be a corrupt judge. Long term, yeah. At some point, I think there's a good chance, 60-40 in favor of Fani Willis getting a mugshot, maybe even in Fulton County. Yeah,
How many cases are still left?
I don't know, like 5 or 6. We got Fulton County. We've got the documents case in Fort Pierce here in Florida. We've got the January 6th case in D.C. E. Jean Carroll is still going on because Trump's going against that. The case with the property decision with Letitia James over the Value Mar-a-Lago, that's ongoing. And the 6th one, there's a case with Bragg involving Stormy Daniels. So that's 6. And if you want to add, in a few weeks, the Supreme Court's going to hear the presidential immunity case. So if you want to include that one, that's a 7th.
Take that list. So how many is that total?
7.
And of those, in your mind, how many are going to end up in a positive result?
All 7. All 7. Yeah, all 7. Yeah.
Well, if that's true.
In the end, they may get crooked juries and crooked judges to do things, but in the end, he'll be cleared of everything, including the E. Jean Carroll, by the way. He's not going to pay her 10 cents. I mean, he wasn't even able to bring witnesses. And in this property case, give me a break.
Outrageous things going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm here to tell you, having used President Trump's bathroom when I was at Mar-a-Lago a couple weeks ago, the bathroom. No, I'm not claiming the fame. I just did. I mean, and well, I really didn't have to go, but I wanted to. Okay, because I wanted to. But and this is not an exaggeration. The men's room cost $13 million, Steve. I mean, I've never seen anything so luxurious. I've never seen. I thought urinals were just urinals. I didn't realize, and the two attendants to help your every need. I mean, it was amazing. But no, so he's gonna be cleared on every single case.
Well, from your lips to God's ears.
You don't sound excited about that.
I'm a little disappointed.
Disappointed? Why are you disappointed?
Well, I'll tell you, watching television last night.
Well, that's your problem.
I made a big mistake. Well, but I don't use the internet, so I've got to get my information from somewhere. So I watch television. I watch a cross-section of the shows, liberal and conservative, but that's where I get my information from.
Yeah.
Going through. Joe Biden goes with a tremendous advantage into this debate tonight.
The State of the Union? It's not a debate, it's the State of the Union.
Well, but what I'm saying is, the event tonight, a lot of people are thinking that it's going to be a pushover. He's going to make a fool of himself and fall all over himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the case. I think the format favors him tonight. I think he's going to be able to get up with his notes. See, the nice thing is he can make one little statement and wait for the round of applause.
And rest during the applause.
And rest during the applause, gather his thoughts, go on to the next thought. He'll have his notes will be a little bunch of paragraphs, and he'll just read them.
And they pump him up with whatever they pump him up with big time right before, so he'll look energetic. But, PJ called in earlier, and he made a good point. He's expecting Tlaib and the squad to start talking about free Palestine and start barking at him about genocide and all that stuff. That's possible. But
You think she's going to really embarrass him?
Talib is a lunatic. Yeah, I could see Talib doing it. It's possible. It's possible.
That would be nice.
They may go to her before the State of the Union and tell her that they'll cut Israel funding if she won't do it. You know, they may do something like that. Now, I wanted to. Something did happen yesterday that gives me an opportunity to play something that I never want to miss an opportunity to play. So the prop girl got convicted of involuntary manslaughter in that Alec Baldwin murder, 18 months, and that seems like a light sentence. I don't know why they have live ammunition on a movie set. It shouldn't be there. But anyway, Alec Baldwin is next, and he's the one that actually fired the gun that killed the woman, okay? And he shot a second person, too. Shot 2 people, killed 1. So the chances of him going away have increased. And Alec Baldwin is not a movie star anymore, okay? He used to be, but he's not now. It's just kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio has a movie out with De Niro that nobody's seen, nobody cares, and it's bombing. Something about Indians being abused for oil rights or something. I don't know. And I saw a story online. Leonardo DiCaprio likes like models in their 20s, and he kissed a model in her 20s at a club, and she said it was gross. It was like kissing her grandpa. So even Leonardo DiCaprio is not a movie star anymore. And Alec Baldwin certainly is not. I mean, he's like, Robert Blake wasn't a star anymore, and he got away with it. But this conviction yesterday increases Alec Baldwin's chances of a conviction in his trial. But with all that...
What does that boil down to?
Well, this girl yesterday got 18 months. That's a long time.
I would imagine.
He killed a woman. He actually pulled the trigger that killed a woman. And he shot the director, too.
Don't look at me. I'm not in favor of what he did. I'm just saying that...
Yeah, but that's not the only death that Alec Baldwin's responsible for. The death of a radio show. And I want to play this. We play it from time to time just because, people think, oh, it's so easy. You go on the air. Oh, I'm here. 888 Cocaine 1, and all the lines are open. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And people think you come in here, okay, the number, 1-888 Cocaine 1, boom, every line's lit, call, you're on the air, and you just sit here like a call center in India and just take calls all day. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It takes a special skill set. And people that don't do this, like we've got callers on hold right now. Just because we're not taking calls doesn't mean we don't have calls. And a lot of people, if you want to see this in action, check out the Kaufman Show. This is like a daily affair over there. But when people go on the air and they think that the phone lines are going to be lit up and they're not, it's fun to watch and listen to. So this is Alec Baldwin. I found this from Glenn Beck. This is about 10 years ago or so. Alec Baldwin was very big in the politics back in those days, and now he's just trying to save his freedom. And he was filling in on a radio show, and he could not buy a call. And you'll hear Glenn Beck a little bit here in the beginning, and then you'll hear him laughing or something as it's going on. But this is Glenn Beck's attempt to do what we do every day. Oh, I'm sorry, Alec Baldwin's attempt to do what we do every day. Yeah, well, I'm getting like Biden, Steve. I need a bump of that stuff they found in the White House. Yeah, right.
Really difficult, as you're about to hear, when somebody who is famous thinks, well, I'll just go on and I'll just talk. How hard could around actor? This is going to be cake. This will be easy. I just go on, I talk, and then I take phone calls.
Exactly. That's how people think it is, isn't it? Is that how they think?
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
When we come back, we have some time. Oh, great. We're gonna. When can we take some calls, Ivan? Do we have calls that are on there now?
No calls yet. No calls
yet. What number do people call to get on the air? Do we have that number?
It's right there.
Oh, do I have the call number in front of me? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's interesting. At 12:10 at PHT. Of course, any other questions you have, any other comments you have, call us to the, what else? Please, at 215-1210.
It is.
Now, if you don't call, we're going to keep reading from the Scientology manual. You might not feel it. You might not feel the energy right now. You might not feel
we do.
The swell of what's happening here. Do we have any calls yet there, Ivan? No calls. Let's read some more about Scientology. Hannity, a Scientologist. Alec Baldwin posing the big questions tonight here. Do we have any calls here yet, Ivan? None. Boy, that's incredible. Unbelievable. Well,
I wish, now if somebody could find a clean audio of that without Glenn Beck and a long version, I mean, I could dedicate a whole show like on a best of on Christmas just to Glenn Beck, this Alec Baldwin thing. But it's not easy, guys. I know we make it look easy. It's because we're very good at what it is that we do. But that never gets old to me. I don't know if you guys enjoy it, but I enjoy it because it shows how hard this is. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. Got any calls yet, Ivan? No calls. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was the beginning of the show. He's got 2 hours to go. No calls. No calls. Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness. I saw Dana Carvey do a bit on Biden yesterday that was hilarious. Let me see if I can find this. My friend sent me a meme of me with my MAGA hat. He wrote, next time Brian goes somewhere with his new MAGA hat, my 24,000, it's in the brief. The Marines carrying it. Oh, let me see if I can find this Dana Carvey thing. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I can't find it. Maybe I'll play it on the podcast. Let's see if I can find it. All right, we're coming back. All right, we're back. Callers on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Yesterday, Jupiter Joe Thomas called in, and I was telling him, people call me about things off the air all the time, and I was telling Joe Thomas yesterday, I'm surprised. I've been hearing from people I know, friends and family that are wealthy and successful people that have a lot of investments in annuities. And I was very surprised. And they all told me the same thing that we hear from Jupiter Joe Thomas about annuities. Your money's safe. You don't have to worry about losing it. And you get that income stream coming in. And people like not risking their money, and they like that revenue stream. Annuities are absolutely amazing. And Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations if you mention you heard him on the Steve Kane Show. And by the way, it doesn't matter where you're located in America. No matter where you are in the United States, you can take advantage of the no-charge phone consultation with our retirement expert here at True Oldies, Jupiter Joe Thomas. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, do you want to take some calls with Ivan and Alec? Okay, I got some other stuff, but we'll take a call or two. Got any calls, Ivan? No calls. Is Sean Hannity a Scientologist? I love I'm not going to go and try to act in a movie. I'm not an actor. Don't try to do this, Alec. By the way, he didn't try it again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Hey, Uncle Steve, Ivy. Uncle Steve, old chum, old pal, Ivy and Broward.
Ivy, how you doing?
Hey, do you have the... Oh, my goodness. I'm doing awesome, man. Do you have the last part of that tape, Brian, when he called his mother or not?
No, I've not heard that. Oh, guys, you got to do that. If you have access to that, send that to me. No.
He had the producer call out and put his mother...
He couldn't call one of his actor friends? One of his famous actor friends?
Well, he would have been humiliated.
If my memory serves, I believe it was in 2015 when I used to listen to Rush religiously. I believe it was 2015. He called his mom. That's probably why you don't
wow.
that part out. Moving right along. Like on The View, Miss Whoopi Goldberg always says, the former president. I wish the former guy from New York was in Harlem. Fani, phony, fraudy. I'm giving her a no name. Between being a fraud and a phony, I'm going to call her Fani Willis, okay? And like I said, the shift has been made. We hit the apex. This is one big part of, hey, everything they did was created. Everything that they did, we have action, proof, paperwork, a phone record, travel logs, and so forth. You keep denying what they're doing to you, you clowns like Jersey and Tom from Florida, as well as the other guy from Florida, Mr. Antichrist. You clowns. Now, we have a martyr. Joe Biden made a martyr of that beautiful young lady. I think Lincoln.
Lincoln Riley.
I think Lincoln Riley, yes, Lincoln Riley. We can imagine what these people feel like right now, the family, what they're going through, and we're moving on with our lives as if, these things don't really impact us. Policy.
Yeah, and let me tell you, okay, Lincoln Riley, and this is the question. I've been asking this since yesterday, and this may not be in good taste, but I think it's an important question. If Lincoln Riley could vote today, who would she vote for?
1,000% Trump.
Yeah, and I'm talking about today, not before her murder, knowing what happened and who killed her. Who would she vote for? And the fake news media. By the way, IB, thanks for the call. The fake. No, the mother. No, she's not. Unless it's changed. It may have updated. It may have. Lincoln Riley's mother was invited and turned down the invite, but that may have changed. A Republican congressman. I don't remember which one. It wasn't one that I knew offhand. Not one of the more famous ones. But it was reported she turned it down. But that could have changed. But here's the thing. The left will try to take that and say, look, she won't even sit with she's grieving. Her baby was murdered, okay, by one of, what does Biden call them? The newcomers. By one of the newcomers. Yeah, the newcomers. They'll come in here, yeah. And and we used to do shows. You used to do this years ago with the parents of murdered children, Steve. And the carpet cleaners killed his. Yeah. We're not running spots for them, are we? Do we have spots for Stanley Steen? Okay. Yeah, well, I could have time to... No, but his 14, 15-year-old daughter was murdered by the carpet cleaners. And, yeah. And I remember we would do shows with parents of murdered children, and they could hardly get through the shows. I mean, it was awful. And Lincoln Riley, and some of them lost their children to murderers years prior. Lincoln Riley's parents, they just lost their girl, okay? So don't read into this, as the media will try to do, that mom turned down the invite. That means she's not upset at Biden. Yeah, if there is, let us know. Now, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again.
I think you're going to really love it.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
I'm trying to find this Dana Carvey bit. I have it in my Facebook group, but I can't get it to open up on my iPads. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. It was really good. Dana Carvey's so funny. Yeah, okay, this is it. I think this is it.
So I did Biden 3 years ago. He's at a press conference. Mr. President, do you have any idea?
Okay. He's there with David Spade. I got it.
Porter can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom LaPorta can do it. Call Tom LaPorta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-3602. 954-604-3602. And online, LaPortaContracting.com.
Your exclusive invitation to adventure awaits you aboard Margaritaville at Sea. For a limited time, enjoy 50% off every cruise from Quick and Easy Bahamas Guest
West in Mexico with electrifying live performances, chef-crafted cuisine, and sun-soaked activities for all ages. It's easy to see why Margaritaville at Sea was just named a top 3 cruise line for families by USA Today. Book your half-off sailing to paradise today at margaritavillatSea.com.
Are you exhausted after work with no energy left in the tank to give your family? Are you having a midday crash on a daily basis? Women, are menopause symptoms like hot flashes, anxiety, and depression making your daily life feel far more difficult than it should? Men, do you feel like you are aging far beyond what you should? Is your sexual life and relationship suffering because of disappointments in the bedroom? Then take action and let our medical team at Lighthouse
We're back after this, guys.
help you stop the symptoms that are holding you back. We use all natural hormone optimization therapies with precision technology to help solve your problematic symptoms. Our family-owned practice has had the honor of serving our South Florida community for over 71 years. Call us right now and let our medical team get you optimized and feeling the way that you should. Life is too short to be running at less than 100%. You and your family deserve the best version of you. Call us at 754-222-6642 or visit us at lighthousemedicalcenter.com to schedule your consultation today.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. I have 2 audio things I wanted to play to you. Do you mind, Steve? Or okay, I know I got a lot of audio today, but there's just a few of these things that I just got to play. This one here. Okay, I just I don't like to play too much audio, but I don't want to be like Alec Baldwin and call mom. If anybody has that full Alec Baldwin radio disaster, send it to me. I got to hear when he called his mom. My mom's alive. She never. You ever hear her call? Now, if we could get Steve's mom on the phone, that'd be amazing because she's been dead for how long? Exactly. Be like, now there's one thing though. There's one thing with Biden that I've got this bit that Dana Carvey did. Dana Carvey is one of the most talented comedians in the history of the United States comedy scene. He's brilliant. And he was just doing this thing on the fly online with David Spade, who's also hilarious. And Dana Carvey's known for his imitations, and he did one of Biden. And, when someone's dealing with severe cognitive decline, that's not something I make fun of. I'm not talking about these brain-dead moron liberals that call us. I'm talking about someone that's really suffering. I mean, my grandfather had severe Alzheimer's, and it was god-awful. I'd come home and he would think I was breaking in. I mean, he knew who Brian was, but he thought Brian was 2, And but with Biden, it's dangerous. We've got a Middle Eastern war going on. We've got a European war going on. We've got this incompetent defense secretary who disappeared in ICU for weeks and nobody even knew about it. And, I remember on 9/11 how, I forgot, the United States is under a ground invasion right now at the southern border. And if you guys look back and remember 9/11, even though Bush and Cheney are scumbags, okay, they were alert on 9/11, and even then there was mass confusion, okay? When we had people running the government who were with it, there was confusion on 9/11. If we had a 9/11 event with this senile old coot, Joe Biden, and Willie Brown's girlfriend, Kamala Harris, we'd be done. So it's not really funny, it's frightening. With that being said, the great comedian Dana Carvey's with David Spade, and Dana Carvey did this bit. I want to play it for you. And he's doing Biden, and it's at a press conference talking about the border. Okay? So it's Dana Carvey doing Biden. He's taking questions from a reporter about the border invasion. Listen.
I started with Biden because the border's all the rage now. Everyone's crazy for the border. So I did Biden 3 years ago. He's at a press conference. Mr. President, do you have any idea how you're going to handle the crisis at the border? And Biden's like, first of all, let's get our facts straight. There's no crisis at the border. Come on. And he goes, how do you know, sir? He goes, because it says so on the piece of paper. Come on. It says on the paper. Says the paper right there. And then recently, everyone wants to close the border. Everyone's screaming. Biden's up there. I'll close the border harder than anyone's ever closed the border. I know how to close borders. Come on, Jack. The press is like, but last time, get your facts straight. I'll beat you the hell out of you. Will you, dog paste phony's shoulder? Come on, let's do some push-ups. I'll close the border like nobody's ever closed it. Right, the border patrol, the border can't believe it's not butter.
That's a good ending.
Okay, that's probably the best analysis of how the State of the Union will go tonight. And it's not funny that this guy's so checked out. It's frightening. And the only thing that could get me through it is a little humor every once in a while. They try to ignore it.
When you break it down, we're at the mercy, really, of our international opposition and our international foes, to hope that they understand that even though we are vulnerable at this point, it is not to anybody's advantage for others or people opposed to us to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because
Trump's coming back.
These bombs, when they go off, they don't know from which side the guy who fired from.
Well, I think this is, what's going on here is this. The United States has never been more vulnerable than we are right now at this time. If this was the Cuban Missile Crisis, they'd have all the silos in Cuba. I mean, it's it. But that old saying, you win the battle, but you lose the war. Trump's coming back in November. And if America's enemies push too hard and do something, they might win the battle here in the beginning. But when Trump's back in January, they'll lose the war big time, and they know that. So the only thing that's keeping America safe is knowing that come January, Donald Trump's going to be the 47th president of the United States.
Enemies have the good sense to recognize what's going on here.
Yeah. Now, this last clip, if you're on hold, stand by. Joe Scarborough, who's a real piece of work, right? Joe Scarborough, it was reported 2 weeks ago that he and Biden talk on the phone every night. Can you imagine? Joe Scarborough and Joe Biden speak on the phone every night before bedtime. Yeah, I know. And since that story came out, which was probably leaked by Joe Scarborough, it's gone to his head. And they've got this thing that Joe's trying to do over there on MSNBC. It's not Joe Biden that's suffering from cognitive decline. It's Trump. They're trying to tell us Trump is suffering from cognitive decline. I know. It's hard to even say that with a straight face. But I want to play this clip. This is Joe Scarborough yesterday talking about Biden.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it.
Now, that guy is his code word for Trump, okay?
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now. He's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been.
Biden.
Actually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years.
He's saying that Biden is better than he's ever been. Right? This is Joe Scarborough. Yeah, this is yesterday, man.
He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Well, now this is interesting. So Joe Biden, he's talking about Joe Biden. This is Joe Scarborough. Joe Scarborough is confessing on the air, that it's so unusual for him to tell the truth on television that we want to make sure this is being recorded. All right? This is a historical moment on MSNBC. I'm about to tell the truth. Get the recorders going. They're so... What is he, high? But anyway, listen, go ahead.
I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. If you can't handle it.
For the last 30 years. This is better than Alec Baldwin. Any calls on the line, Ivan? Any calls? No? I mean, this is... Oh, my goodness.
I want to say, this is... And I don't really, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And you...
Yeah. Okay, now he said, stop tape. Yeah.
Weren't the truth, we couldn't say it.
Yeah, I don't remember what that's for, but I've heard that's... You know, Joe Scarborough, this is Tokyo Rose right here now. This is Tokyo Rose and Baghdad Bob right here. He's telling us that Joe Biden has never been as mentally fit in his life than he is right now. I mean, come on. Give me a break.
So,
what he'll...
a Keystone Cop.
Oh, it's propaganda 101. This is Goebbels could not have put together a better broadcast for the Biden regime than that. And I'll tell you something. Yeah, that's the best. Oh my God, this is I mean, golly. I've never heard I've heard people say, you ask a question, do you want me to tell you the truth? You know, no, I want you to lie.
Can you make one of those comedy drop in?
Steve, I think just the raw audio does it. I don't think this involves, but yeah.
Just the one line.
Oh, okay. Start taping. I'm about to tell the truth. I mean, this is, I mean, my goodness.
Once an hour for a couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness, Steve. That's one of the classic moments in the history of NBC, because he's on MSNBC. I mean, that's classic. That's right up there with the Blues Brothers on NBC Saturday Night Live and anything else. All right, hey, listen, there's only one opening on the board. We have some calls, Ivan. Maybe they want to talk about if Sean Hannity's a Scientologist. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals starting off today?
Exciting times in the precious metals. Gold again today after being up yesterday again. This market is on fire. Gold trading yesterday in a range of $2,123 all the way up to $2,153, and closing out today up $20.60 at $21.4790. Silver was up 53 cents yesterday at $24.13 the ounce, while platinum gained $28 at $907, and palladium gained $101 at $1,032. The rally continues in all the metals this morning. Silver or gold up $14.10 right now after trading overnight in a range of $21.51 to a high of $21.64. Right now we're at $2,162.
Wow.
And silver up 17 cents at $24.30. Platinum up another $13 at $920, and palladium down $2 right now, $1,030. So
wow,
are really going strong, and gold is not pulling back at all. Like normally we see these rallies, a couple of days of rallying gold, and then you get a big pullback or you get some profit taking or something. This has not been acting like that. It's acting like it wants to go a lot higher. So
yeah,
where it's going, but this market is really got some real something behind it that's maybe something we don't know about yet. But the central banks have been buying, but there's something going on, and I would suggest people, if you don't have any gold or silver in your portfolios, you're running your investment packages, your portfolio without insurance, and this is
absolutely
what you can have for your life.
Absolutely. I mean, so it's obviously a good day to buy gold.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you on silver. I mean, gold's awesome, and today's a great day. But I wanted to ask you in particular, because you've talked about a lot the great deals on the 100-ounce bar silver. But what about 10-ounce bars? Are those a good buy right now? Do you have 10-ounce bars? What can you tell people about them?
Yeah, we have plenty of 10-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars, 1-ounce bars, and they're all priced very reasonable, very, very favorable for buying right now. I mean, 100-ounce bars we can sell in quantity for as little as 50 cents over the spot price of silver, which is unheard of.
I've never heard of that, except from you. I mean, that's amazing.
And make sure you tell us you're a Steve Kane listener when you come in for the Steve Kane special.
Yes, that's for sure. I mean, that 50 cents over premium, that is unheard of. And those of you that are gold people and silver stackers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, no matter where you're located, you can do all your business with William Youngerman over the phone and through the mail. He opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And if you can stop in, you should. And remember, at William Youngerman's, all the metals are available for immediate delivery. 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman will finish out the week tomorrow. All right, back after this.
The social justice warriors for breakfast. Now this.
All righty, welcome back. Now, I want to ask you the most important question I'm going to ask you of the day. Are you in pain? Well, if the answer is yes, go see Dr. Appleton and take advantage of his incredible laser away pain treatment. You know, this summer, Steve, it'll be 2 years this summer from the first time that Dr. Appleton rid me of pain. After 2 treatments, my knee pain that I'd suffered from for years, gone, and it has not returned, and it'll be 2 years this summer. We're approaching the second anniversary of that. And he went on to rid me of pain 4 more times, sometimes arthritis, sometimes from injuries and my skateboard accidents and everything else. And his laser away pain treatment is 100% painless. And remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome with Dr. Appleton, even on Saturdays. Here's the number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 and online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian?
Yes?
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. Hey, this is Robert from Arkansas.
Hey.
Robert.
Yeah, and I'm the one who did your caricature.
Oh, thank you very much. You did a great job. I have that hanging up in my home studio.
Yeah, I had a great time doing it. I would have called earlier, but I ended up having hand surgery.
Oh my goodness! I hope not the hand you do your beautiful artwork with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just a pinky. But what I wanted to mention was I noticed a trend. They're trying to muddy the waters by because of the age issue.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is cognitively impaired.
Yeah, right.
He's not, and also the age factor and other factors. They're trying to say that there's no difference between him and Biden.
Yep.
And they're trying to muddy the waters when we know there's a stark contrast between the two, obviously. And I don't understand why these people are coming out and just lying.
Well, because they're Democrats. Yeah. Here's.
The obvious answer is easiest. They're stupid.
That's right. And the thing that they're doing is, okay, and the thing that they're doing is, I mentioned this the other day, so this is not new, and I'm sure everybody's picked up on this. They say that he keeps calling Biden Obama in his speeches. That's not true. He's doing that on purpose. He's saying that Obama is running the country. And I want to tell you guys something. President Trump, as a former president and soon to be president again, he still gets national security briefings and he knows all the insiders. When this is not the host of the Celebrity Apprentice anymore. When President Trump says Obama's running the country, that's true. That's a true statement that he knows because he's an insider at the top of the game here. So he's not misspeaking or confusing them. He's saying Obama on purpose.
Yeah, I think they know that. I think they're just like you said. They're just trying to gaslight everybody into thinking that somehow Trump is no different than Biden, and it's just absolutely ridiculous for them to say.
Now, listen, I want you to. You did that beautiful caricature of all of us, and I mean it was. Let me tell you, I would not do this if I wouldn't say this. I wouldn't blow smoke. I just wouldn't say anything. you captured everything about this program in art in just a beautiful, creative, and very accurate way. And I've had caricatures, I can't even say the word, done of me before, and none of them captured my likeness like that. And you got all of us, you know, and you even got Steve's big muscles. I was shocked. So I want you to, a lot of people don't know that Steve's ripped like that. But I wanted you to give out your website or whatever you have if people want to get that done for do you do work?
No.
Oh.
I'm retired now, and I just didn't want to be overwhelmed.
Oh, you don't want to give out your information and do these. That's I've never heard a man turn down free work. You must be rich.
No. I still get jobs, but in twos or ones or whatever. But what I do, like you were saying about the caricature, what I do is I try to get the exact likeness of the person and make fun of everything else.
Oh no, you did a great job. But if you don't want to plug yourself and get that's okay. That's okay. You know, Liberal Al goes around. He'll go to a deli and say, "Hey, if you give me a breakfast, I'll call the Steve Kane Show and give the name of your deli out in the call." And they feed him. He feeds him. And so. But I've never had somebody turn down the free plug. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I appreciate everything.
So, I grew up in California, listened to Rush, and are you there?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and I was looking all over for a good talk show host, and I found you. Been listening to you for a few years, so just a good.
You mean just good? Just good?
Great work.
There you go. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, I appreciate it. All right, I can find a slide in every compliment, right, Steve? Okay, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. How are you, Steve? How are you doing today? I think you made a really salient point this morning, Brian. The greatest protector of this country right now is certainly not Joe Biden, and it's certainly not our illustrious Secretary of Defense. It's all those polls saying that in 34 weeks that Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States, and watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Do not fool with us. Not that we're not going to get hit or anything, but that right now, Trump is actually giving us like a protective cloak right now.
That's why the stock market's doing well. The stock market, listen, the financial markets are in large part based on future expectations, and the market is expecting Trump back in January.
Discounting his coming back into office. Imagine if the polls show Biden getting a second term.
Oh my goodness,
Mercy, I think of every enemy we have on the freaking planet.
Then Putin could take over Poland if they. Yeah, then Poland and all that could fall. Absolutely, yes.
I mean, this is a major point. I hope people appreciate it. The other thing is MSNBC is the worst piece of garbage I've ever seen on cable. And all those people that do their so-called analysis, Joe Scarborough, they should be taken off the air.
I got to jump in here. I don't agree with that.
Oh, my goodness.
It is such an educational...
Really? What do you learn?
Let me tell you what you learn, okay? Because I think it's a decent question. It's not these people are brilliant, but they give you an acute insight into what goes on in the alleged mind of the liberals who oppose.
Okay, I'll give you that. Watching MSNBC is like you've got a bug spying in DNC headquarters. That's true. I will give you that.
And it's fun. I mean, when you watch the thing, if I had to reduce it to one word, which I like to do, the word would be panic.
Yes.
Here in the back of their voice, as they talk, you can hear the fear in their voice because they know what's coming, and they're trying to get back into denial so they can feel comfortable again. But the denial won't come because they see across the dial, and they see all these shows with Trump on them, all with the highest ratings. MSNBC had the lowest ratings on that the speech night.
Yeah.
Of course, they were fifth or sixth.
Fifth or sixth? Who beat them? Newsmax?
The level of delusion on that network is just unbelievable.
Well, what do you... You know, I don't think it's delusion. I think it's just a propaganda channel, and they are trying to. They're Jim Jones and everybody.
Can't tell the difference. That's what makes it. It's you know the old story about when there's an accident on the highway and for miles.
Yeah.
Where the accident is, everybody slows down.
Like the Kaufman show, like the Joyce Kaufman show.
It's kind of like Joyce.
Yeah.
Holy Bloody.
Radio death. Yes.
So we're basically kind of saying that MSNBC is a train wreck.
Yes. Yeah. It's like the Bright Line every day. Runs over. All right. You know, and what's going through Joe Scarborough's mind? I'm about to tell the truth. Please run a tape. I mean, what kind of stupid thing is that to say about yourself?
Alec Baldwin should be on MSNBC.
He used to be. He was, and he failed. He did a show once a week.
Remember the line from A Few Good Men with the Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Handle the truth.
Yeah.
It's one line, and they just drop it in.
Yeah.
Periodically, maybe once. It gets to be. It's more eloquent.
Yeah. That's true. All right. Hey, Brian in Deerfield.
What to do when Trump gets inaugurated in November?
Go start drinking. Yeah.
We're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should say this: while we're laughing and having fun, we should do that while we can. Because, like I say, what we're about to go through in this campaign is beyond bloody.
Mm-hmm.
These people are going to just pull out all.
It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly.
All right, Brian in Deerfield. Take care. All right, we shouldn't take any calls, but we'll squeeze them in. You're on the air. What's your name? Be quick. We're almost out of time.
Is this me?
Sounds like you.
Oh, hey, it's Dan from La Crosse, Washington, out here in rural.
Daniel, how are you?
20 seconds.
Great to see, and MSNBC tells us what they're going to do because they blame us for it, and then the opposite of what they say is exactly what's true.
That's good. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, they gave up. All right, that was the last call of the day. We're at 10 seconds. All right. Well, we'll be now. Listen, guys. Tomorrow is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. If you're on hold, stand by because you'll be first in line on tomorrow's show. All right, open phones tomorrow. Anything and everything on your mind. Fair game on Open MAGA Mike Friday. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
That's 104.3 HD.
All right, guys. I got to run. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everyone else that's subbed, like the video, okay? I will see you